Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another Final Fantasy X video as we storm through the optional content that this game has to offer us, and there is a lot actually, so we've still got quite a ways to go. Today I'm going to show you, because of the tough bosses we have coming up, how to boost your party stats. Now don't get me wrong, there's no really quick way to do it. It is going to take time. I've already clocked on over 100 hours. The majority of that I've put on after the story. I know I did a lot of optional stuff before the story as well, but if you take it all out, then probably about 30 hours of the story and 70 hours of grinding stats. So at the moment, my character stats, and I've only really worked on Yuna, Wakka and Tidus, are thusly. Yuna is probably the weakest out of my three Imber members at the moment, and Wakka there has mostly max stats, and Tidus has max stats as well. Now you might be thinking, what am I talking about? My luck's not maxed, my evasion's not maxed, accuracy's only on 230. Why am I saying that these are Imber? The reason is, evasion, don't worry about it. To be honest, you don't really need to concern yourself with it, and that goes the same with accuracy as well. Put points in, but about 130 is really all you need, because the thing that's going to help you evade enemy attacks is and be accurate with your attacks is your luck. Now, with that said, most of the hard bosses we're going to be going for are not going to be. You're not going to be able to evade their attacks whatever your stats are, even if luck and evasion are maxed. That's why evasion is something you don't really need to concern yourself with, because where it matters it doesn't work anyway. And your luck spell is what's important. You need to try and get that to about 150. I'm a little bit low on Tidus, but so far I'm handling everything okay. If your luck spell is neglected, then you're not going to be able to even hit some of the hard bosses we're going to be facing in the upcoming episodes. So try and get that around the 150 mark. It is the hardest stat in the game to boost up, which is why I'm not telling you to worry about getting it to 255. Wakka there 150, and Yuna around 150 also. So how do you boost your stats? Well, as you know, you're going to need to get spheres, like power spheres and whatnot, and I'm going to show you the best way to get the spheres you need to put on the sphere grid. So if I go, and by the way, my characters still haven't maxed the sphere grid out, at least Yuna's slacking on it a bit, and there's a couple of nodes left with Wakka to get, but I'm going to show you where to get some of the stats themselves, like how to get hit points plus 300. I've tried to boost some of their hit points, although that's not tremendously important. And also, one of the earlier ones you're going to want to do is strength. So as you can see there, strength plus 2, that isn't actually 1. Where's strength plus 4? There we go. Here I've boosted all my strength around. It is a little bit disjointed around my sphere grid, but hopefully you get the idea. Oh, here we go. Look, here's where I put strength. All these are strength plus 4s, which I've added. I'm going to show you where to get those from. And on top of that, you're going to want defense as well, as of course activating all the nodes that are on there as is. So if you haven't watched my video on how to get actual sphere levels, that's the number on the right hand side that you need to move across the sphere grid, go back and watch episode 62 where I'll show you the famous sphere level gaining trick with Don Tombury, and also even I'll show you how to defeat One Eye, which will give you magic defense spheres and also weapons with the triple AP ability, which you need to really make use of the Don Tombury leveling trick, or sphere leveling trick I should say. So I'm going to show you some of the monsters you're going to want to kill, and presumably you're going to want to start maxing out your strength. So for that we need to kill, just got to try and find the right one, Tankits I think it is. We'll go ahead and kill this. If you don't have the break damage limit, then this is going to take a bit of time. You're probably going to want to Banishing Blade it with Auron, since I don't think armor break is going to work. But that should help you get through the toughness that this enemy has, its high defense stat. For me, it won't matter too much. But also, the maximum damage is important because of the huge amount of hit points they have. If you need to, make sure you use Wakka's overdrive attack reels. Ah, right, defense spheres off them. Well, there you go, you know where to get them from now. Which is the one that gives strength spheres, because that is the first one. Might be Juggernaut, you know. Anyway, all these in the species part give these spheres. Yeah, I think it is this guy. And again, you're probably going to want to open with an attack reels. I think he's got 1.2 million health, if I remember correctly. And I think this is the fella that gives you strength. If you haven't unlocked some of these monsters yet, you need to fulfill certain requirements in order to do so. And if you bear with me one moment, I can tell you exactly what it is you need to do to unlock them. Right, just make sure, yeah, we get the strength spheres. If you get dark matter, then that's the rare drop. But the spheres they drop tend to definitely be the common drop. So that fella was called Juggernaut, and you need to unlock 5 of the following monsters to get him. Jewelhorn off the High Road, Valaha out of the Sunken Cave, and Grendel out of Mount Gadgeset. 5 of each of those 3 mobs and you will unlock the Juggernaut. So with that done, you're going to probably want to know how to unlock Tank It for the defense spheres. For that you need to unlock 3 of the following monsters: Raldo from the High Road, Bunyip from the Jose Road, Maruso from Macalania, Mafdet also from Macalania, Shred from the Calmlands, and Helma from Omega Dungeon. Right, I'm trying to think of the other spheres that you might want to collect before we move on to the funness of luck spheres, which are actually not fun at all. Right, agility is very important. Agility increases your speed, basically. And to boost your agility stat, you're going to need to farm Fenrir. Now, Fenrir is somewhat irritating because he has an instant death spell. Fortunately, Wakka is immune to it. Fenrir has quite a respectable 850,000 hit points. And you're going to need to unlock 3 of the following in order to, or you're going to need to capture 3 of the following in order to unlock him. Dingoes from Besaid, Miahan Fangs from the Miahan High Road, Garms from the Jose Road, Snowball from Macalania, Sandwolf from Bickernell, Skull from the Calmlands, and Bandersnatch of Mount Gadgeset, so 3 each of those. And he will give you the lovely agility spheres. The other thing you might want to do, because I did say you need to get it to about 130 to 150, is the accuracy sphere, which you get from defeating the Hornet. The Hornet has 620,000 hit points and is unlocked by capturing 4 of the following: Killer Bee from Kilika, Bite Bug from Jose Road, Wasp from Macalania, and Nebiros from here in the Calmlands. And he will give you your accuracy spheres. So the good thing is you only have to farm them once for the whole party. Once you've unlocked that node on the sphere grid, it's there for everybody to go and learn. What you are going to need to do is collect a lot of the standard power, speed, mana, and probably not ability so much, but definitely these 3 spheres. as you move your characters around the board with your multitude of sphere levels that you will be collecting. The best way to get those spheres is to attack Kotos. The reason being his standard drop is 20, I think it's light curtains or something. No, 20 healing springs. So we can turn that into 20 spheres by using the distiller, or the ability, extract whatever it is you want to do. I need some power spheres. And we can also turn that into 40 by getting an overkill. To get an overkill, you need to do 15,000 damage to finish him off. He does have a lot of damage in the counter attack he does. So what I recommend is get your meatiest character. Obviously for me it's not a problem because I'm leveled up now. But get your meatiest character. Have them cast Threaten to keep the enemy's attention. Make sure they're buffed up with Protect and keep them as the only person attacking. Make sure as well that you do remember to use a distiller or your power ability so that he will drop those items. I say power, could be mana, speed, agility, whatever it is you want. He does have 440,000 health, which I don't know why I did that again, it's because I had it on memory. I don't need to do it twice. But he does have 440,000 health, which is a substantial amount until you do a fair whack of damage. But there we go, look, you get 40 of the sphere you want to collect, and Kotos is the quickest way to do that. So I think that's it for the standard stats. The only other thing you are going to want to do is get your luck up. Now to get luck up, you're first of all going to need to farm luck spheres. That unlocks the +4 luck nodes on the sphere grid, or adds them on the sphere grid I should say. And we get those by defeating the greater sphere. So I'm going to take that fellow on now. The trick to doing this guy when you're not as powered up as I am, and even so this guy's an original creation, so he is even tough for me, but the trick to him is going to be the same tactic I'll show you on Earth Sphere, which is basically this. Ignore what I'm doing here. You're going to want to have Waka on his own, which means let him kill off your other two characters, not a problem, and set his overdrive mode to a loner. And then you're going to want to preferably have auto life on him should he get killed, but if not, just, you know, make sure he doesn't die, he stays healed up. And in his loner mode you should be able to spam attack reels. So make sure I get this right. There we go. You should be able to spam attack reels, and I don't think the Greater Sphere has a massive amount of defense, so you shouldn't have too much problem hitting the maximum damage mark if Waka has his thingy. Hydraulic Press does a percentage damage of the character's health, so it doesn't help too much having like great damage limit on this guy. But what I am going to do is just heal Waka up, and then we can entrust Tidus here over. Again, this isn't the tactic you're going to be using if you're not quite too powerful yet. This is just what I'm using to get him down more quickly. Just go, stick him in loner mode and have him by himself. Just make sure he's got Protect on him actually to survive that Hydraulic Press. It is nasty, it really is. But I'm going to show you the tactic on the next boss anyway. You definitely want to be getting overkills on all these bosses so that you get 2 of the sphere you're after rather than 1. The only annoying thing when you farm this guy is his death animation. It's so slow. And when you're trying to kill him 20-30 times, it's a bit annoying. But like I said, the good thing is you only have to kill this guy once, as in one set of times for the whole party, because once you've unlocked the luck sphere, everybody can use it. And you can see I got 2 luck spheres there. Now, to use the luck sphere, you're going to need to have a fortune sphere. The standard ones, the power, mana, speed, ability, none of those will unlock the luck sphere on the sphere grid. And you can only get 2 fortune spheres at a time. And you can only get those off the Earth Eater, who is a really annoying boss. So you're going to be farming him a lot, and you may end up finding your own tactic that's quicker than what I'm going to show you, but this is the one I use. I'm going to set Waka to loner, and I'm going to put in the crappiest party members I have. Excuse me. The reason being, I want them to die fairly quickly. Yeah, Lulu looks pretty sucky, so we'll put her in. Now what I'm going to do is replace Waka's nice armour that I made, and I'll show you in a future video how to get ribbon and break hit point limit. I'm going to stick auto arm guard on there. This is what I call my Earth Eater armour. It's got magic defense plus 20% on, death proof, auto shout and auto haste. None of those abilities are hard to get. You should be able to customise them by this point in the game anyway. But each one of those is going to help us substantially. It doesn't matter that Waka's hit points have been reduced. They're going to help us when fighting this fellow here. The reason being that I use those abilities is this boss comes in 2 phases, his standing up phase and his knocked over phase. In his standing up phase, his physical attack auto casts death on whoever it hits, and we don't want Waka to be dying, so that's why I've put death proof on there, on his armour. Magic plus 20% and auto shell are important because in his lying down phase or his knocked over phase, he will respond to every attack with a flare, and you just want to reduce the damage of that as it comes in. And auto haste of course speaks for itself. We need to be able to get as much damage into the boss before he has chance to retaliate. So you need to do 100,000 damage to get this guy to fall over, which if you do max damage will take 2 attacks. Lulu of course will get hit by the death attack. So now he's taken that damage, he's knocked over. He's going to start retaliating now with flare, and we want him to kill Kimari so that Waka's all by himself. He didn't, which means every attack's going to be hit by a flare. The reason we want Kimari to die so we can start building up the overdrive. We've got a 50-50 chance, but no, my luck, he's never going to attack. There we go, he's down. And now Waka's overdrive is going to fill up quickly because it's in the loner mode. Try and use a weapon with triple overdrive if you've got it, and the break damage of course. Now, attack reels isn't going to do maximum damage. Even with your stats maxed, it's just not going to happen. What you're seeing is pretty much the most you're going to get out of it, which works out at about 500k per attack reels. This boss has 1.2 million hit points. I'm just going to skip a couple of turns to get his overdrive built up. At 1.2 million hit points, you're going to really be thinking of 2, maybe 3 attack reels. Just make sure you get them perfect each time. You do have a time bonus on them, so there is a trick where you can wait on the final reel and it will automatically go into 2 hits when it finishes, but then you won't do as much damage with your 12 hits because you won't have had the time bonus for it. So you should really be able to get all 3 on 2 hits, after some practice anyway. Now you're going to be killing that guy a lot because he only drops 2 fortune spheres at a time, and your characters will have about 20 luck to start with. To get that to the 150 mark, you're going to need to do about 130 luck, which works out at about 70 luck spheres, which in turn works out at about 35 kills per character. So I really want to concentrate on one character at a time, preferably Waka, because the stronger Waka gets, then the easier it is to use him to farm enemies to build up your other characters. Hence that's why it's taken me over 100 hours just to get those 3 characters where they are, Waka, Yuna and Tidus. The annoying thing about that farming that boss is that your characters are resurrected after each battle in the battle arena, so they will need to be killed again when you face Earth Eater. But that's everything I think you need to know, really. Remember to check out part 62 if you haven't already to learn how to get sphere levels, but you should be equipped now to really boost up your party's stats in order to take on the tough bosses, the Dark Aeons. We're going to be taking them on next. Make sure you max out strength, defense and magic defense for definitely, and agility. 100% important to get agility maxed, otherwise you won't get turns in when you're fighting enemies that also have high agility. Luck 150 and then evasion accuracy about the 130 mark. But we'll leave it at that for today, folks. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and join us next time as we start facing the Dark Aeons, working our way towards penance. Should be fun, and we will come back here as well to show you some more of the original monster creations, culminating in Nemesis, who I haven't yet defeated actually. I've unlocked him, but I haven't been able to kill him just yet, so hopefully we'll be able to do that together. I've been your host Fuzzfinger. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends as well. See you next time for more Final Fantasy X.